December 12th, 2020. A big day yesterday. You had the Proud Boys out defending protesters in D.C. You had some violence in Washington State. But there's a bigger point here, and I'm going to tell you the point at the beginning, and then I'll go through how I get to that point. Point is, the left is designing a world where the right cannot speak freely with actual speech. So we have to act out. They realize that the left is more likely to be violent and instigate riots and cause violence and harm. So they pretend they do the opposite, and they're going to try to instigate the right into doing those things. For right or wrong, they're going to instigate a violent and physical, you can call it battle, call it altercation, event, whatever you want to call it. They're wanting a civil war in the street because they think that so long as the state controls the police will crack down on the patriots. So here you have this, the first one I want to show you. The Proud Boys are surrounding a man with a knife at the rally, and this is graphic, they say, but it's on YouTube, so you can see this. This is from the New York Post. Says they've got a guy that pulls a knife right there. He whipped a knife out. They're all videotaping him. This woman is going to try to pull his mask off, and they start beating him and surrounding him. Now, people may or may not have been injured in this. A female cop was injured. 4 people were stabbed, but they surrounded him and took him down. Unreal. What happens when a lefty pulls something more than a knife, when it's a gun? What happens when they take down someone with a gun and he's shot 7 or 8 people? Because that's what's coming next. And it would come quicker, except there are still people from the right on Twitter and on Facebook showing these things, on YouTube showing these things. If there were no more conservative voices, the left would be going out every day publicly executing people. Because again, they want us to have no recourse. They want us to have no route to airing our grievances publicly without violence. That's what speech is. Free speech is supposed to be that you can air out public grievances, that you can do it in the print, that you can do it with an assembled audience, and that you can do it in public, and that no government can shut you down. And what they're trying to do is make sure that you can't go do that in the digital public square. So you have to take it to the physical public square, and you know that the right is going to take that over. So you can see they subdue the person with the knife. There's no chance that person's getting away. You can see now fire and police getting involved. Mace is being sprayed in. See, you want to see something real interesting here? These are all the people helping the situation. Then when the police comes in, everyone gets mace indiscriminately. Are the police really helping? I don't think so. Not in that situation. But it plays out. You got the people with yellow collars and yellow ribboning. That just tells you that they're Proud Boys. They take down the guy with the knife. I think he's on his stomach, being as cooperative as he can be. So that's the first one. Just awful to see that the Proud Boys are having to defend themselves and citizens from knife attacks before the police get involved. Then when the police get involved, it's just everyone gets mace. Everyone in this dog pile gets mace. Instead of saying police, police, and pulling people off the dog pile to get to the guy with the knife. Just mace the whole thing. That's what the states do, right? The state police, the state itself, sees a problem and they just go, nuke it. Let the Lord sort them out. Just mace everybody. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that these people were defending innocence. Doesn't matter. Just mace them because I'm a lazy piece of shit police in D.C. That's what that is. Not afraid to say that. Sorry if you don't like it. The bigger piece of this is that these people wouldn't have to be tackling a guy with a knife if the police did their fucking jobs in D.C., if the police did their fucking jobs in Washington, where you saw the next piece there. In Washington State, there were more than 4 people surrounding a man where another guy had to draw a weapon, come out, and shoot him. You understand that the left doesn't want you to be able to speak up and to speak without being violently attacked. If you want to go out and say, we like Donald Trump, your right is to do that and then go home without the threat of violence. That's your right. They're taking away that right by threatening that violence and then carrying it out. And the police don't stop it until you have to defend yourself with a gun. Then they say, we better stop these people. The Proud Boys have guns. They could have shot the guy with the knife. They chose not to, and the police maced them. Do you know what's coming next? They're not going to try to stop the guy. They're going to put him down. That's what the left wants. They want these people to be useless idiots once they're dead. They want them to be the idiot who goes out, pulls the knife, and says, fuck Trump, and then he gets shot, and that's what's on the news. They want this. They're asking for it. They ask for it on Twitter when they tell you you're wrong and here's this tweet that's been removed and your account's been blocked because you cited a medical source. It doesn't go with the narrative, but it's a medical source that we're banning you. What is a person left to do when their Twitter has been taken away, when their Facebook has been taken away, and all they've done is speak legally? They have to go out into the streets then and speak legally. And when they're attacked illegally for that legal speech, what do you think comes next? You think people are just going to say, well, we don't have a problem so long as we're not being attacked? That's Tim Pool's thing. He says, oh, the house down the street's being burned, but I'm not going to worry. They're not at my house. That's his analogy that he points out. You should be terrified. You should be worried about this now. If someone says you can't speak up or you shouldn't say that, you should tell them to really consider what side they're on, because they won't have to kill themselves. That will be taken care of for them. Do you understand that America is the last free place in the world? If you let go of the idea that the Americas are free, the American states are free, then what you're giving up on is freedom for everyone else around the world. Hong Kong and other places that they have these widespread protests, they're all waving the American flag and cheering for Donald Trump. It's not out of a misplaced sense of patriotism for them. It's because they understand that our country is the last place that has the right to freely speak. When these people want to go out and freely speak and they're attacked by people with knives, they're attacked by people with guns, they're attacked by people with signs and sticks and bricks and scissors, hammers, you know what's going to come out? 9mm, 45s, and bigger. We're going to just start bringing out guns into streets. And if cops try to stop you, they'll be treated the same as an enemy combatant. They'll be treated the same as one of these fucking with a knife. When you're an undercover cop attacking a bar owner in Staten Island, two of you undercover plainclothes officers, no badge, you come out and you try to arrest a bar owner after taunting and harassing him for 3 days. Now he's off of his property and you try to arrest him. They said in Staten Island that the guy ran them over with a car when actually one of them just twisted and fell and twisted his ankle like a fat cop. You'd expect a fat cop chasing a guy in a car to run 3 steps, fall over, and go, oh, my ankle! And so he reported that the guy ran him over. You guys got to really consider over the next month, when certain states and certain cities have their police officers stand down while you get attacked, are you going to support the police or not? If the police are acting as accomplices to enemy combatants, what do you call that? In D.C., when the Proud Boys are being the first and only real line of defense against murder in the street, and the police, the only action that they take is once there's a mob to spray everyone down with mace? Something's got to change. Something's going to change, because I'm telling you what, by January 6th, we're not putting up with this. It's less than a month away. You have more guns in American hands than you have police officers. Did you know that? It's by a factor of 100. More guns in Americans' hands than police officers. Tomorrow, the right can snap their fingers and every police force is disabled. The left thought they could do that because they have signs and fire. Fuck them both. The right can shut down the country in a moment's notice. So if the police don't want to stand up and do their fucking jobs, if you don't have the military standing up and doing its fucking job, if you don't have the National Guard standing up and doing its fucking job, when these riots get worse, you will see patriots go out in the streets and start indiscriminately shooting. It will be lefties, it will be cops, it will be anyone who's not flying an American flag or a Trump banner. Not me saying this, by the way. This is just how I see it unfolding. This is what's going to happen. This is what the left's been calling for. They try to get you off of social media, get you off of YouTube, get you off of Google platforms, get you off of Facebook, alienate you, make you feel like you don't have a voice, so that you have to act like someone who is voiceless, someone with nothing to lose, someone who only has a voice in their head and a gun. That's what they want. They want the right to turn into that. It's not going to happen, though. You see, the right is going to come together and plow through any of this. You see the cops can't get a handle on it. You see the guy with the knife losing his teeth in the street. What more evidence do you need? The Proud Boys are going to take the Antifa teeth right out. No one's going to stop them. And for a few Antifa that get locked up in prison, we have now anecdotal evidence as to why the state pursues one side and not the other, far indiscriminately and way improportionally. You want to think about how the left makes the argument for years and years and years that speech is violence. This is what we keep going back to. Speech is violence. If you say the wrong thing, it's violence against me. Schools are teaching this. People are telling their kids, you can't say certain things because it physically hurts another person. That's how they silence you first. If me saying that systematic racism is a myth hurts you, and punching you in the face hurts you, and you won't let me say the first piece, you leave me no other option but to knock your fucking teeth out. That is how Proud Boys feel. That is why they're out there knocking Antifa's teeth out. That is why when a guy pulls a knife, you don't see a bunch of people running away and saying, knife, knife. You see people swarming in. You see a lady grab his mask and pull his head down, and you see another guy take a helmet and take his head off. No one is afraid of a pussy with a knife. No one's afraid of a pussy with a gun because you know he's 9 times out of 10 not going to pull the trigger. We're not afraid of you anymore. You can ban the speech. That just means actions are coming. Get ready. You're going down. You're going to lose. And every time you push this a little further, it just worsens the consequences for you later. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be someone I know. It's not going to be anyone you know. It will be the next random person attacked in the street who's holding a gun and you don't know it. Because like I said, there are more guns in American hands than cops, and it outweighs them 1 to 100. So that's what I have to say. The cops are going to be powerless very soon by their own choice. The left tried to shut them down. They can't. The left can't shut itself down. The left is miserable right now because it doesn't have real leadership. It knows it's never going to take the White House. That won't happen. And they're acting out like this. Why? Why did a guy in D.C. go out into a mob of pro-Trump supporters who were being peaceful and draw a knife? Why did he think he could do that and not have this happen? Or is he the guy who is unemployed, miserable, down on his luck, never had luck to begin with, hates his life, hates America, and just is going to do a suicide by cop or a suicide by Proud Boy or a martyr move, and he now is mistaken, realizing, shit, I'm just in prison. And don't worry, his charges will be dropped because he's not a Proud Boy, he's a knife-wielding loser from his mom's gay basement. That's it. Like the video, comment below, let me know where I'm wrong. I'm sure there are many, many instances. Share the video, though, and then subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to pump out the free speech that we choose to. Period. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the Salty Cracker. When the Salty Army is behind you, good things happen. And Salty Cracker's coming back to you too. I'm sure it'll be the Monday video. We'll see what he gives us tomorrow. So that's it. Have a good day. Keep America afloat.